Today I want to talk a little bit about neural tension and kind of my take on neural tension and what's going on in the body when this happens. So, as a lot of people know, we have muscles that kind of connect our bones and help us connect from bone to bone and help us move. But we also have nerves which control that muscular movement. A lot of time when people are in pain, I find that yes, it can come from muscles or joints or ligaments or bones or tendons, but it also can really come from nerves. And most often muscle pain or fascial pain can be coming from those nerve signals. I've seen a big uptick over the past couple of years in neural tension and neural pain in a lot of my clients. To be fair, I work with a lot of people in chronic pain, have chronic tension, and dealing with a lot of stress, high levels of stress. And I find that when people are under high levels of stress, they're holding a lot of tension in their body overall. And that kind of overload on the nervous system kind of filters out into the peripheral nerves, like ulnar nerves, median nerves, and radial nerve in the arms, or like the sciatic nerve, that's a big one in the leg, or even the femoral nerve in the leg. And there's many other nerves. I'm just kind of naming the top ones here that a lot of people are like, oh, I've heard of the sciatic nerve before. Most people have heard of that one because of sciatica. And having tension in your nerves is different than having a nerve injury. We can injure our nerves by bruising them, they can be cuts during surgery or a traumatic injury. They can be kind of over pulled. They can kind of be irritated. They can be pinched. There's a lot of different ways you can injure a nerve. And I'm not necessarily even talking about injuring a nerve. I'm talking about tension on the nerve. So what happens when you feel tension in your muscle? You go to stretch it, right? So say you have tension in your forearm, you're gonna stretch that forearm. You have tension in your quad, you're gonna stretch your quad. Your hamstrings feel tight, you're gonna reach to touch your toes. That's all great when it comes to the muscles. But when it comes to the nerves, if you're just gonna hold a stretch like this, that's actually gonna do more harm and cause more tension in the nerve than doing something else. So muscles like to be stretched, nerves like to glide. I think about nerves as like that flowy girl that just always loves to dance and move. Nerves love to flow and dance and glide. So as you can see, that can run into a little bit of a problem. If you're constantly feeling tight in your hamstrings and you tell me, oh, I stretch every day, I stretch all the time, and no matter what I do, my hamstrings are tight. A light bulb's gonna go off in my head and I'm thinking, is it really the hamstring that's tight then, or is there some neural tension in the back of the leg? And commonly, just the hamstrings, for example, when people feel like they have constant tightness in the hamstrings, in my opinion, more often than not, it's not the hamstrings, it's the sciatic nerve. And once again, I want to make this very clear. That does not mean that you have a sciatic nerve injury or that you have sciatica. That just might mean that you have sciatic nerve tension, and that's very different. And I don't want you to panic if you feel like that's you. It is totally manageable. So once again, nerves like to glide and dance. Cranking on it or holding a stretch is not gonna feel good on the nerve. Moving and flowing and gliding is gonna feel really good on a nerve. That's why if you ever come to my yoga classes or take them on YouTube, I do a lot of movements within our stretches. Even something as simple as this is gonna be a little bit more flowing and gliding than just holding. And once again, there is a time and a place for holding a stretch, but not always. So when it comes to tension in your body, just kind of start to check in. If you're always stretching a muscle and it still feels tense and you're not doing anything like a workout or sitting for long periods of time to increase that tension, then it might mean that you need to look at the nerves. You can see on this page that you'll find other nerve glides, and I'm going to slowly start to share different nerve glides. On my YouTube channel, I do have a sciatic nerve glide up, and I'll be adding more and more nerve glides as well. But just something to think about if you've been under a lot of stress and your body's been under a lot of tension and you keep stretching and you don't feel like you're making any progress, it could be neural tension. So stay tuned for a couple more videos. If you have any questions on this, let me know. Bye everyone.